The audio file you are about to hear was submitted by Terence M. to the Near-Death Experience Research Foundation. If you would like to review the full file, I will leave a link in the description box below. If you've had a near-death experience or miracle and would like to share that with our audience, please reach out to sallyknopp@gmail.com. If you are someone who is looking for energy healing or clearing, please visit sallyknopp.com. Thanks for listening, and please, if you like this audio file, please give it a thumbs up. Let's get into the story. The historical background. Over my lifetime, I've experienced chest pain. Overly ambitious gym workouts and excessive shoveling without warming up properly were often the cause. On one occasion, convinced of angina pain, I presented to the hospital emergency ward only to be sent away with the reassurance my heart was fine. So, when 12 months ago I again started feeling angina pain, I reported to the doctor seeking a diagnosis. After undergoing an ECG, I was again told my heart was fine. Not being contented with one opinion, I reported to my local doctor who repeated the ECG test and also reported to me that my heart looked fine. However, my local GP, a very thorough doctor, thought that he had heard a slight heart murmur. My local doctor then booked me into the Heart Center for more specialized testing. The results of stress tests and the echocardiogram indicated that I did have a slight heart murmur, which they attributed to less than perfectly operating heart valve in my left ventricle. Many people have heart murmurs, I was told, so when the angina pain periodically reoccurred again over time, I simply rested and breathed deeply. It always went away. The angina warnings. In the morning of December 24th, 2015, I decided to swing an axe in order to cut some invasive tapuna tree roots that threatened the foundations of my home. After an hour or two of vigorous work, all without a warming up period, I started feeling phantom chest pains again. Should I go to my doctor? It was Christmas Eve after all. Didn't he have seriously ill patients to worry about without me concerning him with my pectoral muscle pain? My normal remedy worked. Deep breathing and resting soon rectified the problem, or so I thought. Besides, I had already made Christmas Eve arrangements and didn't want to jeopardize my best laid plans. After a pleasant Christmas Eve with my partner and her son, I felt the angina pain again. It was around 11 p.m., and I excused myself to do my normal remedy method. Once again, the pain subsided. Minutes later, as I was about to go to bed, I decided to reach over the back of a cabinet to unplug my mobile phone charger from the lowly positioned wall socket. This time, the angina pain reappeared with more intensity than usual. All my quick fixes seemed useless. I couldn't lie down without the pain increasing. I couldn't sit up either. Putting my head between my legs seemed to help slightly, but breathing did little or nothing to ease the pain. I called my partner, who asked if she should ring the ambulance. No, I thought, remembering my last hospital visit some 30 years earlier for some reason. However, I conceded that perhaps she should drive me to the hospital emergency ward, just on the off chance I might have something more serious wrong with me. Arriving at the hospital ward. After a 15-minute drive to the hospital, the pain got worse. I knew something was wrong. Positioning myself in different positions in the front passenger seat had not helped. Upon arrival at the car park, I walked with difficulty with short distance to the emergency ward entrance. The time was around 11:45 p.m., and being Christmas Eve, there were only 3 patients awaiting attention. I approached the counter to give my particulars to the office staff and advised them that I was having an angina attack. Naturally, they heard this many times and smiled at me as they continued to take my particulars. However, a passing emergency ward nurse, upon hearing my remarks, quickly opened the door to the ward and whisked me into the treatment area. A quick ECG indicated nothing was wrong. Well, here we go again, I thought. The emergency ward doctor wisely decided further tests were required, advising my concerned partner within earshot that I would be kept overnight for observation. I was by this time in the hospital garb, and my sweat-soaked clothes were removed to my partner's care. The cardiac arrest. It was midnight now. The emergency nursing staff, who were not immediately involved in their duties, were celebrating the incoming Christmas day with nibbles and a soft drinks. I was wheeled into the X-ray department for further test. I had been given an angina tablet just in case, and all seemed to be okay. The bed moved less than 2 meters, as I recall. Suddenly, there was no ward. No me, not anything. Just brilliant golden light, as if reflecting from beneath a sea of seamless and endless golden clouds. The feeling that no one was feeling was ecstasy, bliss, and perfect peace beyond any earthly description. Not even one single thought intruded upon this ecstatic awareness. Sublime in the extreme. Words fail to do justice to this experience that no one had. There was no I have experience. Time ceased to exist. The duration of this near-death experience cannot be said to be either short or long. It was as if it happened outside of time, as if time stopped as soon as the brain shut down and started after returning to consciousness of existing self. When did that return happen? Was it when the blood started to flow to the brain again? There's no way of answering this question beyond mere speculation. Or is there? The return. Then the voices immediately started intruding into this heavenly paradise in an annoying way. What is your name? How old are you? Where do you live? Who is the Prime Minister of Australia? Do you know what just happened? The I, who was being annoyed by such silly questions, was suddenly back in my body. Leave me alone, I thought. I want to get back to where I was. Of course, the I, that artificial identification with name, form and ego boundaries, which are indoctrinated into my psyche since birth, now featured prominently in these thoughts. With the return of blood flowing to my brain, courtesy of the marvelous emergency ward doctor, and to broken ribs, I was eyeing and mying again. Still, that magnificent feeling permeated, to a much lesser extent, to my consciousness. I had great difficulty taking the questions and the situation seriously. What is all the panic about? Don't these people know that dying is a wonderful experience? My only concern was dying without telling my partner that I loved her. Uttering these words came with difficulty, yet even this difficulty was not troubling to me. The 3 hours that wonderful emergency ward staff expended in stabilizing my heart's rhythm by using powerful infusions passed in little more than an instant. I later discovered that my doctor had directed my resurrection by phone. I had kept drifting in and out of beautiful visual remembrances of that golden light. Time seemed irrelevant. Then I started to return to that awful state called normal existence. I became aware of being wheeled into an ambulance with my lovely lady doctor, who confessed to being the one who broke my ribs. She was escorting me to the University Hospital Coronary Care Unit for expert monitoring during the critical period of my recovery.